I'm going to do is come into my render settings and make it 1280 by 720. Whoops. And change the anti-aliasing to best animation. Alright, all that does is make it look a lot more like HD basically on the best bit there. It makes it look a lot more colourful than that. So the first thing you want to do is create a sphere, make it 150 radius and 75 segments. If you've got a faster computer, feel free to go any higher on the segments, or slower computer, feel free to go not below 50. I wouldn't recommend it though. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is create another sphere, a pyramid, and a what else can we have? Platonic. So the sphere one, I'm going to make this 50 down here, make the pyramid 50 and the platonic 50. Alright then, the next thing you want to do is come to MoGraph and clone our object. Grab the 3 smaller objects and drag and put them into the clone object. Go into the clone object settings and change it to grid array. Make it 1 in the middle and 6 on each side. Like so. And then you just want to lower this down to below the shape. Now what you do is make like a gap, so there's like a gap all the way around every single shape, so there's like a gap in between them all now. Spin it to the side and make a gap there. Like so, that should be fine like that. Alright then, I'm just going to drop them a little low below the shape sphere actually. Once you've done that, what you want to do is select your clone object right there, go to MoGraph and Random Effector. In the Random Effector settings, you want to come down and keep reset X and Z to 0 and keep the Y's 50. Make this 100, 300 and 200. Make that 200 actually. Alright, now that just mixes them all about a little bit. Come off that. Now you want to hold down control and click the sphere. Oops, not yet actually, sorry. I'll just create a floor first. And now you want to click the sphere, the clone object and the floor. And right click on them and go to MoGraph tags, rigid body. Now this is why you cannot use Cinema 4D12. I do have it because Cinema 4D12 doesn't have the rigid body. You have to get a plugin for it, and I haven't really looked into it yet. So I'm just going to carry on Cinema 4D11 for a little while. Well, 11.5. Alright, so now if we play it out, they should just drop to the floor like so. Yep, that's fine. Now a little trick, if you don't want to see your floor in the renders, you can see that little line there divided in 2 colours. If you don't want to see your floor, right click on it, go to Cinema 4D tags, compositing, and untick scene by camera. And if you play, they still drop to the floor, but now you cannot see the floor in the render, like so, which is looking pretty good. And the next thing you want to do is you want to come to this like green emitter thing and create an attractor. Change the attractor to 12,000 and make this 300. Oops, not 300. And then if we play that out, yep, they should all come up like so. It's looking quite good. Just quick render that. Yep, that's what it's looking like. Now what you're going to want to do is you want to create a let's see how many lights. Just create 1 light for now and grab an array. Drop the light onto the array and go onto the array settings and change it from 7 to 3. Now I know I'm changing it to 3, but it does make 4 lights. If you spin it around, you will see 4 lights on the around the sphere, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright then, oops, go back on that. Now you want to make the radius 1k. Let's have a look what else. Move the array up just a little bit like so, about 250, between 200 and 250 when you move it up. And change these down to 50%. Obviously you can change it to whatever you think looks best, and change shadow to shadow map soft. Now first carry on playing this a little bit and render it out a little bit. You can see the shadows on the sphere as well. Alright, so once you've got that sorted out, what you want to do next is move the attractor about a little bit. So at 40 I want my at 40 I want my attractor to be still there. I tend to work in 40 frames on doing this one. 40 or 60 frames actually. So I'm just going to make it 300 for now. So at 100, we'll move it up to the I'll move it to the top left actually. Keyframe that. 160. Move it to the bottom right. $220. Move it bang into the center at the top, like so. And then for the very last one, 280. Just move it down to the bottom and hit keyframe. Now if I just play this out for you very quick, all the shapes come up, and then as the attractor moves, the shapes will move with it all the way around, and some shapes will fly off and they'll come back on later on as the attractor moves around. As you can see, they're all like flying off in different directions and that, and some of them come back on, some of them don't. This works really well with the spheres actually, and then yeah, like so. Only difference is at 280, what I'm going to do is drop it really far off the sphere, so then all the shapes will just blow off the shape completely, like so, like that. Then if you move your floor way down, they'll just fall onto the bottom of that eventually. Like so. That's looking pretty good now. Alright, so the next thing what we'll do is we'll add a sky. On the sky, right click it and go to Cinema 4D Compositing. Untick Scene by Camera. Then you want to come to download link in the description and download Cinema 4D Reflection, and it'll be like this when you get it out. You drag it into the Cinema 4D material spot and click no. Now drag and drop onto the sky. Now I still add reflection, but obviously we won't see anything yet because I ain't got any colours. So the next thing we'll want to do is add colours. So we'll just make one colour for now. We'll make it red, like it's on the intro. Reflection, we'll have Forenzo, and we'll make this about 40%. This one about 30. Doesn't have to be bang on. And then you want to drag and drop this onto the sphere there. Now I'm just going to quickly render that. Now if you look down there, you can see the real nice reflection on the spheres down there. It's looking real nice. Now I'm just going to control click that to copy and paste a new one, and just make it a really dark grey so it's almost black. If you make it fully black, you won't see a reflection on it. Put that on the pyramid and the platonic. Obviously you don't have to copy my colours, it's just what I'm doing for mine. And then I'm going to create another one and make it white for the main sphere. Now when you drag and drop this on, do not just drag and drop it onto the sphere like that, because all you'll do is drag it and drop it on the clone, on the attractor. You have to actually drag it onto the sphere on the side panel here to actually show any effect. Right, now I know it does look great at the moment, but it's just a little tactic now what I'm going to show you to make it fully white. You want to get one light very above, about just about around 1,000 up, and you want to make that 60%. Right, that should look a bit more white, that's better. And then create another light, move it up about 500. Obviously these are just an estimate, I'm not just going for bang on. It's quite hard to get bang on anyway. Now I think you make this about 70. Whoops, not 700. Now if we render that out, actually I'm just going to create a new colour and just make it a solid white. Yeah, it's looking better now. Probably a little reflection on this, on the white. Turn this up to probably about 30%, and then render it out. Yeah, that's looking better now. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to show you to do now is how to add your text onto the sphere. Now you want to come to MoGraph, Text Object, and you want to make depth about, I'll make it 5 just to make it look a bit fatter. I'm just going to write my YouTube name. Well, I'll just write my proper name actually, screw right in the X's. And you want to center it. And you want to choose a font. I like to choose a thin font. I'll put this one in. There's actually two. There's secret code and there's a different one. I can't remember what it's called, to be honest, off the top of my head. Oh, I think it's just me again down here, which is what it's called. A few of you might have heard it. If you actually look for fonts, it looks really good on the sphere. I'll put a download link for that in the description as well. Alright, now what I like to do now is just get a solid black colour and put that onto my text object like so. Now obviously it's not going to be around the sphere yet, so what you're going to want to do is come to that little bend here and choose wrap. Now drag and drop the text onto, nope, sorry, wrong way around. Drag the wrap onto the text object like so. Now it'll go like this. Now what I like to do is just bend this back cube in as far as I can like so. Now that should just stick it to the sphere like so, as you can see, fully on. And I'm just going to crush it in a little bit like so. Alright, so now I'm just going to play it a little bit so the shapes come up. Alright, now if I render that out, that is your sphere with the shapes on it so far. Just looking quite good. Obviously it's going to be a bit better. Obviously it's going to be better in a minute when I just add the orange light now, or whatever light in the top left. So yeah, for this light you're going to just hit light, choose visible light and choose volumetric. Move that into the top right and move it a bit forward. Now just make sure it's just out of the way of the camera. Right, that'll do. Now choose the colour of it, and I'm just going to choose, I'm going to go with a nice red actually this time. I'm going to go for a change. Now if you do render this out, now you'll probably want to zoom in a little more actually on the yeah, bring that in a little bit. And then zoom in a little more on the sphere. And then if we render it out now, right then guys, that is basically how I made my sphere intro. I hope you guys like it. Don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe.